to start off by saying how disappointed I am by what the fuck happened. Okay. Like, if y'all somehow have not heard by now, the MCU Spider is gone. For right now, I mean, because they're saying nothing is necessarily set in stone. It's just, I'm gonna change that suit, but it's like nothing necessarily is confirmed, I guess. But that's just the decision they're pretty much going to go with, but they haven't actually carried it out, I guess, yet. But Tom Holland's Spider-Man is not in the MCU. He's supposed to still have 2 more movies.
Does MCU stand for Minecraft Universe?
What
also, my name is still stuck like this. Stuck.
You know, I'd forgot I was there. I'm just gonna go on another loaded thing. But this was my favorite Spider-Man in a movie. He literally just had Far From Home, which I loved. I thought once Far From Home came out and I saw that, I thought it can't, like, there's no way they can get rid of him now.
Bye.
That's what I thought. But you know, they did. Here, let's turn on that music. We're gonna have to do that when we load it. But Sony and Disney were supposed to make a deal, and they couldn't do it because there were 2 white. Oh no, I'm just kidding. They were supposed to make a new deal, and Disney, since they've been putting pretty much a lot of time, effort, and money into the new Spider-Man movies, they were asking for 50% to share with Sony. But Sony said, fuck you, we're not doing that. They said, let's just keep the deal we've been doing, which is Disney having 5%. And Disney said, no, fuck you, we want more money. So both companies there's not necessarily a right company here. Both of them just had deals to offer, and both refused or declined their deals. And since both of them couldn't agree with both of their offered deals, they just said then it's off. But right now, what I think is they will arrange some other deal if they listen enough to the people. Like, cause I understand Disney probably wants more than 5%, but probably not 50. Because then again, Sony does still have the rights to Spider-Man. So if anything, they should just get 30, not even 30, maybe 20% is the most they should probably ask for. Because I know they put in a lot of their time and effort and money into it, but they make a lot of money and they don't need more. But it's because greedy people. That's why. Hold on, let me pull up these quotes. But hopefully they'll come to some deal like that, to where he'll stay in the MCU. That's gonna be fucking disappointing. I like origin better. It doesn't even show his origin in this game. It's just pretty much a Spider-Man story because everyone already knows his origin pretty much. It's already established. It doesn't need to be shown again in a game. That's just why. But yeah, I'm pissed, and so is a lot of other people.
Auto insurers offer a webbing clause yet?
Because not only that, if you haven't seen Far From Home and you don't know what happens at the end, for those of you who have seen it and know what happened at the end, the big cliffhanger for the post credits, that's kind of retarded. That the fact they're gonna go ahead and have that happen, but then take him out. The whole reason Iron Man snapped his fingers was because of Peter Parker. Obviously he did it to save the universe and all that, but one of the big motivating factors, according to Happy, was the fact that Spider-Man was going to be there after he was gone. Even though he wasn't going to be, the next Iron Man, he kept on thinking he was supposed to be, but Happy told him that he wasn't supposed to be.
PS4 Spider-Man but in online mode.
Oh yeah, they could do that. People have been wanting that to happen. Just call it ever since Spider-Verse came out, they were like, hey, I mean, it could work. Because why not have multiple Spider people? You could just fucking swing around. And they'd be like, you bitch, come here. Y'all. Stop. Hi. Quit talking. Oh, I wanted to punch him. Let me do this. That didn't work. Fly. There's a crime over here. I was actually fucking excited.
Hey guys, you got prescriptions for this stuff?
Yeah. But the fucking fuck, okay? Because even though it's supposedly supposed to be the same Spider-Man in the next two movies they're making, the fact that it's not in the MCU really makes me not want to see it. Because I would be in the movie theater watching it and be depressed. No matter how much action would be going on, I would be depressed. Knowing that the fact that it's not even in the MCU. So the fact that it wouldn't be in the MCU, I would just be telling myself, what's the point? Because I know before he wasn't in the MCU, he had Tobey Maguire and then the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. But that was because, to me, it's just always been that way. I've just always seen that the fact. I don't know. Hold on, let me talk first. But then, I've always seen just Spider-Man not being able to be in the MCU, so I accepted it. And the fact that they were actually able to make a deal for him to be in it, I was like, oh, cool. This is a thing now. He's in the MCU. Let's keep it that way. And it seemed like they were going to definitely keep it that way. It's basically one of those things to where it happens and then you don't want it to go away. And then when it ends up going away, it seemed like something that would almost never happen, or basically the least of what you would expect to happen, or at least want to happen. But it ends up happening. Basically the worst. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It can't, that whole saying where it can't get any worse than this, but then it ends up getting fucking worse. The depressing fact about it is, okay, I should have moved. Is the fact that Sony was all for keeping him in the MCU as long as they kept the same deal. But Disney didn't want to do that. It wasn't even Marvel who said no. It was Disney. Disney barely even wanted Kevin Feige producing those movies. I don't know why. I thought it was okay for Disney to buy Marvel, but now I'm seeing why some people don't like it. Because of how much they're micromanaging and all that. I get they own them, but it's kind of retarded. How they're actually, we also helping really wanted Kevin Feige producing or helping produce the Spider-Man movies, even though he's helped produce every fucking MCU movie. Because he's the one who had that idea in the first place, and he's the one in 2005, 6, 7 who kept on getting turned down by all these movie companies, looking at him like he was Thanos. They were calling him a madman, thinking that he could make some superhero connected universe. That would never work, and it ended up fucking working. And now it's the biggest money making franchise of all time, and it's still going. No, Spider-Man Far From Home is literally the highest grossing Sony picture film ever. But since they didn't have enough money, you know what? Probably since it's the highest grossing film, or it made $1 billion. Thing is, Sony, they were talking about said if it didn't make $1 billion, they were going to take it out. It made $1 billion, and it still gets fucking taken out. Like, when I saw that it made $1 billion, I was like, okay, everything's good. But then, of course, it's something that I don't know. I think I'm more for Sony. I don't like the fact that Sony, well, like I said, both of them,
Nice to stop a monkey.
Sony and Disney there's not necessarily a good guy in this situation, because both of them are just being a little greedy. Because they're both, if they do 50%, they're both going to make a lot of money still. But the fact that I guess that Sony sees that if they keep it at 5%, they will keep making more money off of that. Like, it's like, you see, basically, they wouldn't be grateful for the money they make off of the 50%. Like, it would be a lot, but they would basically be like, I wish I had more, though. And that's exactly what Disney is doing in the situation as well. Right now, they're thinking, they're wanting more, which is why they're asking for 50%. But hopefully they realize they can't necessarily do that, and that they need to fucking calm their asses down, because they don't own the screen rights to Spider-Man. Like, I'm gonna at least defend Sony for that. I wish Spider-Man was just with all of Marvel and Disney. It wasn't owned by Sony. Then again, if he wasn't owned by Sony, I don't think this game that I'm playing right now would have ever been made. I would have never had the whole, like, the whole childhood films, the Maguire one. Which, I mean, I probably would have been able to live without, but I'm just, you know, I'm at least grateful for that they happened. And only like the first two were good. 3, I don't know. And then the Amazing Spider-Man series, there was just somebody in Sony who kept on restricting a whole bunch of stuff, which is what made it horrible. And since this was a game, basically, here's how good the Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man PS4 is basically a really good representation of how good a Spider-Man movie could be, in a way. But the fact is, since he's owned by Sony, and like how like there's always somebody who barely even knows anything about Spider-Man who's always being the one to like micromanage everything. You know, like the Amazing Spider-Man movies, apparently they were supposed to be actually really good, but everything that like the producers or like directors or something, or like writers or whatever, were making, there was someone who basically worked for Sony who kept on telling them no, and kept on saying no, which is what made them end up being asked, to where then they had to reboot it again in the MCU. And now, literally, the MCU Spider-Man is the most successful Spider-Man, regardless of what, you know, other people say. A whole bunch of Tobey Maguire fanboys say.
The second one wasn't really good.
Yeah, but the fact that so many people are still like, well, Tom Holland's Spider-Man isn't really that good. It's like, well, definitely makes the most money. Like, he's my favorite. I don't get why so many people don't like it. Probably because it's not that comic accurate, but neither is the other two Spider-Man. I don't know. I just feel like it's because people who grew up with like the Maguire films just don't want to necessarily accept that there's like a third Spider-Man that's actually doing good. Or, you know, I don't know. Because I never even really liked his suit that much either. The Tobey Maguire suit, I never really liked it that much. I thought it actually looked weird when I actually saw like what Spider-Man looks like in the comics. I know there's some, you know, comic book artists that make him to where he kind of looks like how he did in those films. But when I started seeing what Spider-Man mostly looked like, especially like the Ultimate Spider-Man, I was thinking, I'm like, why do his eyes look like that? Or why is the web popping out? I just didn't really like it that much. Yeah, one of like my favorite suit. My favorite suit is either the Homecoming one, or the Stark suit, or this one that I'm wearing right now. My favorite movie suit. I think the most accurate, like comic book looking suit is the Amazing Spider-Man 2. But
Hang on.
like I said, I read comic books, but I'm not like all nitpicky about if it's gonna look comic accurate or not. Because if anything, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of movies, if they're comic accurate, and a lot of people know this, they would just look flat out stupid. I'm sorry. And some of the things that even happen in comics are just flat out stupid.
There's someone inside that. Hold on. Thanks.
Pyro, I'm not going to be on for much longer. I just wanted to make this video. I have to go eat soon, so don't expect me to like probably be in here for another hour. Bro.
That's everyone.
Hello.
Glad I was here to help.
Oh, I'm depressed. So I'm depressed.
Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
I've been over here playing Ninja Storm so much, I've been trying to attack people with O in all my games.
Alright. I'm gonna click O real quick. Wait, where's that button? What are you talking about? Where's the button?
I forgot how to dodge. Alright, O.
Circle E.
This is how
Yeah,
it
I
feels
think
not
Tristan
playing-
was supposed to get on, but I
not
don't know
playing a
when he's
game for
gonna.
like so long.
Yeah.
Yo, I haven't played Brawlhalla in so long, I don't even remember what the controls were.
I should probably play that. Hold on. Hello?
Ow. Let me abandon this challenge.
Why do you look like you're outside at 1 o'clock?
I just got home.
You just got home?
Yeah.
That's how long it takes?
Well, I have to take 3 different buses, and I have to go like to a few different places.
Yeah. So when are you gonna be on to talk about this?
Now?
Did you see the notification?
Uh-huh. I was watching it until you called me.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'm hopping in the conversation too, guys. You thought I was out. You're stupid. That's your problem.
That's your problem.
Oh my gosh, I have so much stuff in my backpack already. I do have math homework, but I'm probably just gonna bang it out tomorrow morning. Because I'm like that. Nah, I just don't care right now.
Ew, math.
This is hereditary.
What math class do you have, Tristan?
Advanced algebra. But it's
You
not
mean just
really
algebra
advanced
2?
'cause- No, it's not algebra 2, because I took that last year. I have the same class as Ryan, and he's like, he was in a higher math.
How many years of math do you need?
How many years?
Well, because you know, like if you need like 2 credits for something, it means just basically 1 year since it's 2 semesters.
I think I need 2 years of.
So like if you need 4 credits, that's basically 2 years since.
I had 2 years of basic algebra already, and then.
Because at Rampart you only need 3, but I think like in order like if you're planning on going to like colleges, they're usually looking for 4.
That's kind of why I'm taking the advanced class, because they were like, well, we can both you down, and I was like, no.
Because what most people in junior year end up taking, even Taj did it, is ABC math, which is literally the easiest math class there. Because hence the name ABC. But yeah, because all it is, it's supposed to just be math for real life, like actual math you probably use on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, it's pretty easy. But I'm taking the next algebra. So what we were supposed to do is take algebra 1. At least it's called algebra 1.
I could probably.
But I don't know how advanced necessarily it is.
My bad.
But yeah, it's called algebra 1, and then in sophomore year you're supposed to take out geometry, and then junior.
I think I'll take advanced geometry next year.
And then what is it? And then junior year, you're supposed to take either ABC. They let you choose pretty much. If you want to choose, if you want to do Algebra 2, ABC Math, or like calculus or something,
What?
or advanced
What
calculus.
do you want me to do?
You know, AP calculus. No, what's AP calculus? Okay. Yeah.
Can't you just ask?
Alright, well, I'll hop in the stream in a second. Send me a party invite.
Alright.
Just gotta turn everything on. Are we gonna play forklift tonight?
No. What'd you say, Tristan?
Are we gonna play forklift tonight?
I don't know. I have to go eat soon, so. 'Cause my mom started making Alfredo, and she said, "I'll tell you when it's done." And I was like, "Okay."
Alright.
I passed your name about 3 times. I was literally about to ask you. I'm like, so did we somehow get unadded as a friend? And then I found you, and I was like, oh.
Alright, let's see. List.
Lord.
Oh, I'm about to be murdered.
I'm about to get on his ass.
What's up?
Listen.
All right,
I have
Tristan, time for your
80
thoughts.
current week interviews. My thoughts on everything?
Yes.
Let me load into my game real quick. Dog!
Oh.
It's been a whole 12 days. Ow.
Sense.
Been a whole few months.
Yeah, where you been, boy?
A lot of things.
He's been playing. I forgot. Yeah, I know he's been playing. Was it a Naruto game? Okay, yeah.
Cause in that game you attack with O, and it's stupid.
Insomnia.
Whoa,
Marvel.
chill with that controller.
Oh yeah, Pyro. Next time, like I think Tristan comes over to my house, we're gonna like replay all of Sonic Mania in one sitting, like legitimately.
Oh
I'm
god.
gonna stream the whole thing too, bro.
Because usually every time we ended up replaying it, we like fucking just messed around with debug mode. But
When is that? Because
Actually-
middle school is killing me.
I don't know.
Probably my birthday weekend or after.
So September,
forgot
like beginning of September. It's like September 12th. No, nope, 9th. That's Shikai's birthday. Shikai's birthday is the 12th.
My game reset.
Oh, Spider-Man?
My game reset.
Of anything? Of everything?
I'm not doing that mission.
Everything reset.
Wait, what?
Like your background's gone and all your games are gone?
No. Spider-Man reset. I have none of my stuff.
You have no progress.
I had 84%, dog.
Man.
Alright,
What?
I think you get I think you get the Far From Home suits for free instantly. So actually, no, I don't think.
Yo,
I don't
by
know.
that moment I would have just broke the disc.
I didn't get it on disc, so
Oh.
smart.
What suit do you guys mainly use?
I've been using the Far From Home suit because it's sexy. Okay.
I just like my favorite suit, like of all time. Tristan knows my favorite suit of all time.
Of all
like
time,
the
I think
spider armor.
I know a suit he really likes though, and it's the homemade suit.
Yes, the classic, the homemade, and then.
Yeah, his favorite is just overall classic. I don't know about the Stark suit.
Yeah, I love the Stark enhanced suit. It's top 5.
I usually use the Spider Punk or the Mark III.
What's the? Oh, I see. Let's say I was like, where's the Mark III?
so, whole thing. Probably one of the dumbest things Marvel has done. Well,
It wasn't even Marvel.
Okay, it's
It
not
was
even
Disney and
Marvel's
Sony.
fault, so-
It was Disney and Sony, and they were both being greedy. Well, because here's the thing with it. Sony wants most of the money for themselves, which I mean they're not necessarily in the wrong for because
My mask can zero in
they
on
do
muffled
legally
sounds.
own Spider-Man's
Kinda tied up
screen
kidnapped
rights.
victim might
So,
make.
but then again, Disney puts in a lot of like time, effort, and money, mostly money, into the Spider-Man movies. But pretty much Sony gets paid for it, which is why they're asking for
Gotta be one of
50-50.
these cars.
But then again, 50-50 is kind of a lot,
Hold on, I'll get you out.
since because at that rate, it's almost like Sony doesn't own Spider-Man at all,
Don't let them hurt
which is
me.
why they said no. So people are hating on Sony for not accepting because it kind of makes sense as to why Disney should get 50. But then again, also I think since they don't want to do that, Disney should have, rather than Disney just being like, then no, like I would at least lower, be like, well then 40, 30, 20. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, just since you were there the whole time, I was saying like the maximum I would want them to do is maybe 20.
Nearly wound up on the back of a milk cart.
Because if they really, because the richest company, the richer company is obviously Disney, and they don't need that much more money. I know they've used a lot of money on Spider-Man, but it's not like they're losing money. But
I know how to play the game. Piss off.
like Marvel couldn't do anything. They were just there. It was just Disney wanting to get more money out of the Spider-Man movies. Basically, both of them want to have. Well, basically, Disney wanted to technically get more money, but then was saying we get an equal share. We get 50-50. But then Sony was like, no, because since we're the one who owns him, we should have the most money. They were all for keeping him in the MCU if Far From Home made $1 billion, and they got to keep the 95%, like how they've been doing. But I didn't expect that. You would at least think they would start renegotiate. Apparently, they are still renegotiating. I'm guessing. But it's weird because it's like asking for 50% instantly, and then once they refuse that, it's just completely cutting off the whole thing without even thinking what people would think.
This is what really made me mad about it, okay? Listen, Spider-Man Homecoming is easily, right? It's easily considered one of the better Spider-Man movies. Then you go see Far From Home, and you nut 8 times while watching that movie, right? And then Sony was just like, hey bruh,
Have some condoms.
basically, he's not yours no more, bruh. Thanks for the money though, dog. Like, listen, I understand, okay? I understand being a part of
1072 mugging reported. Need an
like
officer on the
movie
scene.
company and then like
Officers near
hardly
Gramercy,
getting the
please
money
report.
for it. Yeah, that's one thing, okay? But getting more money
Who wants
than
a picture?
everything else. Like, you have to realize Sony is getting paid all of the money for these movies. Like, all the money it makes, Sony is getting the money.
And no more muggers.
So, I don't understand.
I know, it's the thing. They wanted to keep it like that. They wanted to say we want all the money, most of the money still. But Disney didn't want it like that. They wanted 50%. They wanted it to be split in half. Disney gets 50% of the money and Sony gets 50%. But Sony, since they didn't want to do that, obviously they said they wanted to keep their deal that they've been having. They say no.
Listen, I get it. Sony has the deal with Spider-Man. But every other Spider-Man movies, listen, Tobey Maguire, classic. But if you watch that now compared to Far From Home or Homecoming, you're not gonna you're not gonna enjoy it as much. It has some of the greatest lines in movie history. Like, the story's not for the faint of heart. That's indented in my memory forever. But so is, if you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. Like, I need you guys to understand how well Tom Holland plays the role of Spider-Man and how easily he plays the role. It's not just oh, he plays Spider-Man really well or he plays Peter Parker really well. He plays both roles insanely well. And that's what makes it classic. Like, it's not even like,
Now, here's all you need. Ready? Here's all you need.
Spin.
All right, you got the approval from Stan Lee. Stan Lee said that he's the most accurate of what he when he was first making Spider-Man. He said that to
At
him.
least, and this is what really is getting me going. Sony, do it out of the respect for the man who made it. Like, dog.
Don't. I know
Come
there's been memes
on,
about
man.
don't make me come down there, you punk.
Stan the man made Spider-Man. The man who created the universe. And you're being greedy. Like, take a second to look at what you're actually taking away from the MCU. Right? One of the most beloved characters of all time, first of all. Second of all, easily the greatest character of all time. There's no argument. If you argue with me, you're just gay and retarded. Listen, there is no way you don't look at this movie, right? Like, Far From Home is the best Spider-Man movie I've ever watched. And yes, there's a futuristic twist on it because it's placed differently. Like, you have to think about it. If they were gonna make it, 1994 New York, you're not gonna understand it. Like, he's not the same character as 20 years ago. Alright? Spider-Man has evolved, and yes, he's got stuff from Tony Stark. Tony Stark individually picked Spider-Man for specific jobs. But look, Sony, hear me out, please. I have 7 Spider-Man posters, alright? A Spider-Man shirt, a Spider-Man mask. You guys take this away from me, and I'm crying harder than I did when I saw that little dude die. All right? You think I cried for nothing, Sony?
People are saying Tony Stark died for nothing now since he's gone.
On a slightly lower level, my homeroom is basically Spider-Man.
Nah, Sony, you think I you think I sat in that movie theater, walked out with the face I did after Infinity War for nothing? Who do you think I am?
Reported
Huh?
break-in.
Huh?
Reported location is Chips Bay. Over.
Who do you think you are? Sony,
Ever hear a knocking?
listen, Sony, I understand.
Hey, an old-fashioned B&E. Gotta love the classics. The full set?
I may need you to
I
get
should get extra credit for this.
It's him! I get a picture!
Me?
Hey, you freaking mask.
Yeah,
What?
if you can. There's a wrap in the item shop called White Dragon, and it's new, and it looks awesome,
Okay.
and it matches the Crimson Scout. Okay, but anyways, aside from all that, listen, dog. Sony is making one of the biggest mistakes they've ever made. And listen, the reason I say that is they decide to add it. Look, I get it. Venom was successful. The only reason Venom was successful is because it was Venom. Nobody actually enjoyed. Listen, nobody genuinely enjoyed that movie. Yes, the only reason that movie had its ups is because of that second end credit scene when we all looked and saw Into the Spider-Verse. You have no clue. Me and Tristan have been waiting for an Into the Spider-Verse movie since like 2013 when we had the idea that it would be a thing.
I remember first getting it. Now I didn't know it was a Spider-Verse movie at first because all they said it was an animated movie about Miles Morales, which I was still like, oh, really?
Listen, the thing is, me and Tristan talk about Spider-Man on a daily basis. Okay, that's not even a joke either. I'm dead serious. Like, it's at least one meme of Spider-Man. It's just. Did you hear that? And no, you're not getting any of mine. No.
Oh yeah, Pyro. When I first told Tristan about this, as he was,
Go ask Dad.
when I called him on the phone when he was on his way home. When
There's
I told
a pen
him,
in his
I
car.
said, so they were moving Spider-Man from the MCU. He like
why
sat there,
didn't you say
he didn't
what?
respond for probably like 40 seconds, and then I finally
These are
said hello,
simple
and he said, "What am I supposed to say to
Why am I
that?" But he
doing-
started actually genuinely getting pissed.
Dude, okay, But seriously, I need you guys to understand how genuine. I'm still super heated about this. Like, there's nothing I can say or do to like reverse it. But even the actor for Hawkeye, I can't remember his name right now because I don't care. But listen, you're telling me the guy who basically, listen, magic with a kick, you know, like that's, are you kidding me? Sony, you're making all of the money from these movies. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand how greedy you need to be. Disney is making 5%. They're not even funding the films, yet they're making them so well. Like, these are brilliant, absolutely amazing movies. I saw Far From Home with Tristan, and I was geeking out like a 3-year-old girl. I need you to understand how genuinely excited I was. There was so much in that movie that's just Spider-Man. Peter Parker, like you throw those two in the mix, dog, and he was like, I just want to go on a school trip with my friend, and he's in love. He's a young boy in love, and do you know how well they portrayed that? I can't lose this now. Come on, listen.
Apparently, I saw a thing posted by Accurate MCU. Like he was it was his comment on it, not like the actual like post picture. He said apparently like the whole cast, like Tom Holland, Zendaya, and all, they unfollowed Sony on Instagram and Facebook or something.
Hey, I wouldn't blame him, but I need Spider-Man, right?
I'm still waiting for a response from Tom Holland.
Listen, you guys need to understand. When me and Tristan first heard the news that Spider-Man would be introduced to the MCU, we looked at each other, okay? We looked at each other for like 12 minutes, and we just sat there in awe, because we didn't ever think it would happen. Because it was never hinted towards, and then me and Tristan, we watched one trailer for Captain America Civil War. We saved ourselves to watch that movie. It was such a dedication that me and Tristan had just to see Spider-Man for like 10 minutes. You need to understand how happy we were. Like, after that movie,
Go on.
okay, hold on. Sorry, I just got beamed.
I'm actually sad.
No.
Like I cried.
Okay, basically, the first time me and Tristan saw that Spider-Man would be added to the MCU,
Like I'm so mad.
we were freaked. Like, his old house, we were like jumping around,
Look at
okay?
this.
Because me and Tristan, for the longest time, had always talked about how it would be so cool.
Oh,
to
Tremonte
see
said Tremonte said he cried.
I will cry. Like, I'm on the verge of crying. I've been like so close all day. You have no idea. And one of my teachers was like, "What's up with you?" I was like, "I think you know what's up with you. Alright? Don't ask me questions. Okay?"
Here you go. I'll play this last 30 seconds of the tribute, okay?
But listen, Marvel, do me a favor. Disney, quit being retarded. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. Disney, you have the most money out of any company in the world, and you're gonna sit here and act like you can't just go snatch Sony. You already did it to Marvel. Like, Marvel's one of the biggest companies of all time, and you just went, hey, buddy.
Give me your ass cheeks.
Mine now. Like, do me a favor, Disney. This is the one favor I really, really need. Listen. Okay?
Apparently, what some people are saying is if they were to buy Disney, Sony, they would become a monopoly.
They already are a monopoly. They have Universal, they have Pixar, and they have Marvel,
Star Wars,
and the rights to Jurassic Park, Star Wars. Like, what else do they need?
Fox.
Huh?
They have all of
also
Fox.
Harry Potter. They also have Harry Potter.
They have all of Fox. They have all of Fox. So literally everything Fox. So like,
what would Stan Lee
so
do?
like Alien.
What would he do?
So like, just literally any movie that you say 21st century Fox. Any movie you watch that you see that, no, that's Disney now.
They're already a monopoly. All right, they've been a monopoly. They've already.
The fucking Simpsons are Disney now. Okay.
Just do me a favor, Marvel. You don't do me this favor, and I will literally, not even Marvel.
Disney.
Sorry, Disney. I'm so frustrated.
Come on, fellas.
You
Can't
don't
keep ducking
understand.
income tax like this.
Tristan looks me dead in the eyes after Far From Home and goes, "Oh, he's also supposed to be in 9 more movies." You have no clue, man. You don't understand how excited I was.
Javante said, like, what would Stan Lee do? He said, what would Stan Lee do, bruh? Like, what would he do?
He would say what he said about DC. They're a company. Listen, I don't care what anybody says. That was the best Spider-Man movie ever created. I could watch that movie 9 times a day and never get tired of it, and I know that.
I can't do that. When there's a movie that good, I just can't watch it anymore.
Nothing puts a
Nah, Spider-Man was so good, I would literally dedicate 90 hours of a week to that movie. I don't even know if there's 90 hours in a week, alright? That's what you need to understand.
At this point, do Marvel versus
There
DC.
is. I'm sure.
Javante said at this point, do Marvel versus DC.
I literally, what else do you want? Disney, quit being stupid, alright? And Sony, you have the greatest console of all time. Do me a favor. Do me a fat favor.
Work on that more.
Exactly. Like, you don't need Spider-Man, dog. You have all of the
People were.
money.
I saw a thing. Here's what I got really excited about when I first saw. I saw that Sony Pictures was eventually gonna, like, in the next like maybe 10 years, wasn't gonna be a thing anymore. Like, wasn't like, because you know Sony products are good. And yeah, like the best thing that they basically have right now is their PS4. But Sony Pictures, the one who owns Spider-Man and pretty much does the whole movies and all that, they're the ones that like don't make any money at all, because the movies that the best movie they've ever put out is Into the Spider-Verse. Other than that, they're the ones who put out movies like what is it, the Emoji Movie.
Hey, y'all remember Daddy Daycare?
Like X-Men is done, like
Nobody,
think about
listen,
it, no one gives
somebody who
F about the
severely says
X-Men.
that Spider-Man Far From Home, listen, I don't care
Okay.
how critically acclaimed it was, alright? That was a 20 out of 10, alright? That was a 3,457 out of 10. Yeah, I could literally give my... I could give so much time to that movie. Listen, I just need clarity. Like, Sony, I love you for one thing. You make my console, and you let me enjoy playing games with my friends. But you don't dictate my favorite superhero. Alright? Sony,
All units, got a reported break-in.
I am 3 seconds away from flying to Japan and kicking your kneecaps in. I don't. My superhero is more important. Alright? So quit being stupid.
Javante said, "I love you, 3000 Spider-Man."
I love him 9,000, dog.
Anyways, I have to go eat now.
We have reports of a vehicle collision.
So I mean, you can just keep talking, but I'll like put this
I'm gonna
into.
keep talking, but I gotta take a shit, so I'll be back.
All right, Pyro, say something.
Wait, what do I have
Pyro,
to say?
the stream is on you now, boy.
Oh, no. I can't do crap.
You
I'm
can do
busy
it.
getting beat up. Yo, what the heck? I've been punched like 15 times by this brute.
All right, well, I'll be back.
Alright.
Javante, you can keep saying what you want to say, but I'm gonna go eat real quick, and Tristan's taking a dump.
I'm dead. Hello, stream. I'm not the best commentator. Follow me at that. Follow me at that guy Pyro on Twitter. Yes, I am doing this.
Okay.
I'm getting rid of this guy first. Alright, you done. Try me. I dare you. Yeah. The heck?
Bro, I'm so done, bro.
Nah. I'm taking you now. Ooh. Ooh. Nope. You thought. Nope. You done. Alright, hello. Alright. Anyone else? Alright. Nope. Not that thing. I gotta get rid of you first. Nope. Nope. Keep that stuff away from me. Nope. Dead. Try me. Come on. Crap. Crap. Oh, alright. Where are you guys coming from? Over at YouTube. Worst ones in the game. Alright. Alright, that's all I had to do. Now I have to wait for them because I'm not good at this commentary stuff. Defensive shield. Absorbs all damage. The heck?
So my dog Pyro in here?
What's up? Yo,
Okay.
I don't know which one to get. I want this 299 suit because like the white suit because it looks good, but like I want the Mark 5 because it has a freaking or the Mark 4 because it has that defensive shield power up.
Get the Mark 4 for the defensive shield, save for the 2099 because you can easily grind. The white 2099 or the blue 2099? What you want?
I want the white one. I don't know.
Oh, you tripping.
I've seen the blue one so much I can't. Or the
I mean,
black
I
one
guess.
seems no difference.
I mean, I guess.
I guess.
I'm about to do all my challenges real quick on forklift.
Alright.
Basically, listen, man. I get it. Sony, you need money. We get it.
Even though you have consoles that people still
You-
buy.
You're making money every day of the week, brother.
We're buying games from you.
We really are.
You don't know how many I've bought this last month.
Listen, man. Listen. Tony, you need to do one job. One job and one job only. Spider-Man. Spider-Man can't be yours, son. Spider-Man can't be yours, bro. Listen, dog. Spider-Man is my favorite character of all time. I love Spider-Man. I could live and breathe and eat Spider-Man. Listen, you remember Spideyos?
Spidey.
You you remember the Spider-Man popsicle? I mean, it looked dumb, but you best believe
I had
you
that
best
crap every time the ice
believe
cream truck came over.
exactly. Tony, who do you think you talking to? I mean, truly. Listen, I've got more problems to struggle with games right now, and I'd like to just struggle with games right now. Like, honestly, Fortnite is bad, and nobody wants to play it because of these goofy mechs. So Fortnite, do me a favor, take them out the game, please.
You already know they're probably not going to.
Sony acting
Second
doo-doo
of
butter.
all, my guy, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. You mean it's
Spider-Man.
you mean to tell me you want to take the one character that I loved since I was like 10 years old? Not even. Bro, I had Spider-Man posters on my wall when I was 2. I didn't even know who he was yet. I was just like, that dog look cool. Listen, I have Spider-Man cards, alright?
Rip Spooter.
Like, you can't take this away from me, Sony.
Same. I have a whole room that's painted Spider-Man and stickered Spider-Man.
Sony, listen to the people for once. They know what they talking about. I mean, let's be real. Somebody hired Tom Holland to do the greatest Spider-Man job we've ever seen. And honestly, he's been doing the most wonderful job we've ever seen. So you take that away from me, and I'm taking your cheese away.
Yeah, he does good for like both characters.
He is the pinnacle of Spider-Man.
Exactly.
You,
Andrew, he was more Peter Parker in the whole entire movies and all the movies.
listen, Andrew Garfield had his moments, and
Yeah,
so did, okay,
Toby.
Toby had his moments too, but bruh, Tom Holland puts the pieces together, man.
Yeah.
Tom Holland does what he needs to do as a character, bro. You just can't take that away from humanity. That's just something we can't live without. And that's me being honest. Like, you want the honest truth. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I mean it's just Spider-Man. We can make better movies.
And
No.
everyone's about to be on all of their socials if they be doing something like this.
They're already on their socials, that's the thing. Sony needs to listen to the fans. Listen, Sony, for the people, for the culture, for the people, do us a favor and keep Spider-Man in the MCU. You don't have much to do with your life anyway. Keep making consoles and keep doing what you're doing. All right, that's what you need to stick to. We get it. You had 5 other Spider-Man movies, but I'm not doing another Spider-Man reboot. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm really not. I really can't. I just don't want to.
Keep the stream up. I have to do something.
I mean, I'm not the one streaming, so yeah. I stream on Fridays, Tyler. You know this. But listen, I just can't believe that that's the level that we've come to. That's the like this is not cool, man. It's really not. Sure, Chinese sounds good. Listen, man. Listen, I get it, okay? You need money. You're not doing well. But Spider-Man? But Spider-Man?
Alright.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Alright, I'm gonna hop off for a little bit.
Alright. I'm probably gonna hop off for good. Cause like
Alright.
it's already 8:33. So
Hello? Oh.